Hello, my friends. I want you to imagine that you're fighting a tide, swimming against its pull with all your might, only to find that the harder you swim, the further you are swept away from your desired destination. This is what we often do in our pursuit of happiness and contentment. We fight so hard against the negative emotions, trying our best to push them away, only to find that they persist and multiply, becoming more powerful and overwhelming. It's a paradoxical concept, isn't it? The more we struggle, the more we lose ground. This notion is what the famed philosopher Alan Watts referred to as the backwards law. We get caught in an endless cycle of dissatisfaction, spinning our wheels in the mud of our discontent. And the harder we press on the accelerator in an attempt to escape, the deeper we sink. This leads us to our second point. Our efforts to reduce dissatisfaction can ironically deepen it. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole at the bottom. The more water you pour in, the faster it seems to leak out. We're stuck in an impossible race, one where we're always tailing behind our expectations. The irony here is that in our relentless pursuit to eliminate our dissatisfaction, we end up feeding it, nurturing it until it grows so large that it overshadows our joy, our peace, and our contentment. Now, most of us think that the pursuit of tangible achievements, such as wealth, love, and power, will lead us to happiness and contentment. When we watch a movie, read a book, or listen to a successful person's life journey, we see a common thread. The main character achieves something significant, and then they're happy, they're content. We're conditioned to believe that this is the recipe for joy and peace. However, the backwards law suggests that these may only be surface-level desires, the tip of an iceberg that's hiding a vast, unexplored depth beneath. We chase these external accomplishments, thinking that they'll bring us the elusive happiness we seek. But what if they're just placeholders, masking the true desires that reside deep within our hearts? What if our pursuit of these tangible achievements is obscuring our actual wants and needs? Often, our understanding of what we want, what we need, is shrouded in misconceptions and false beliefs. We think we desire wealth, but what we actually crave could be a sense of security. We think we're yearning for love, but what we're truly longing for might be acceptance. And we might chase power, only to find that it's respect that we're seeking. This misunderstanding of our true desires can lead us into a relentless pursuit of external accomplishments. And the more we chase, the more we lose sight of our real needs, our actual wants. It's like running on a treadmill, always moving but never getting closer to our destination. It's an illusion, a mirage that keeps us running, keeps us striving, but never brings us the satisfaction we crave. This pursuit of external happiness could ironically be leading us further away from genuine contentment. German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer posited that pleasure from these so-called achievements is fleeting. We might feel a surge of joy when we attain a goal, but that euphoria wears off quickly, leaving us in the same place, or perhaps even a little worse off than before. Our dissatisfaction and the belief that external changes will alleviate it are at the root of the human predicament, according to the backwards law. We think that if we can just reach that particular milestone, achieve that specific goal, we would be happy, we would be content. But that's the illusion, because just like the horizon, no matter how far you travel, you never really reach it. The goalposts keep moving, and we're forever stuck in an endless loop of wanting, achieving, and then wanting again. Our fixation on these external goals can shape our identity and character in unexpected ways. A person who's always striving for more might become overly competitive, or perhaps even ruthless. Someone who's always seeking validation might become dependent on others for their self-worth. And someone who's running away from their negative emotions might become disconnected from their inner self. These changes, these distortions of our true selves, can distance us further from the contentment we're seeking. In a sense, we lose ourselves in the pursuit of happiness, becoming strangers in our own lives. Instead of finding peace, we invite more chaos, more dissatisfaction into our existence. And in doing so, we're violating the central tenet of the backwards law. The harder we try to avoid discomfort, the more we invite it into our lives. The more we run away from our problems, the faster they catch up with us. But here's the thing. There's a way out of this endless cycle. The first step is awareness. Recognizing that we're stuck in this loop is the first step towards breaking free. This awareness can open up a path to true contentment, to genuine happiness. And that path starts with acceptance. Acceptance, my friends, is a potent tool. Acceptance of our flaws, our issues, our shortcomings. Acceptance of our strengths, our joys, our victories. But more than anything, acceptance of life's inherent imperfections. It is through this acceptance that we can begin to see through the illusion of external achievement and start to understand the real essence of contentment. Schopenhauer, a philosopher whose ideas have stood the test of time, proposed that humans are driven by an illogical force he called the will to live. This force propels us into a relentless quest for fulfillment that, unfortunately, only results in suffering. We're like hamsters running on a wheel, chasing an ever-receding goal that we believe will bring us joy and satisfaction. But here's the paradox. The harder we push, the faster we run, the further away our goal seems to recede. It's a race we can never win, because the finish line is not a tangible achievement or a fleeting pleasure. The finish line is contentment. And contentment, according to the backwards law, cannot be achieved through constant striving. So what do? Do we simply stop striving? Do we give up on our dreams, our ambitions, our goals? Not at all. What the backwards law suggests is not inaction, but a shift in perspective. It invites us to negate this constant striving, this relentless pursuit of more, and instead focus on the here and now. The present moment, with all its imperfections, its challenges, and its beauty, is all we truly have. The past is a waterfall of memories, cascading into the river of time, forever out of our reach. The future is but a mirage, shimmering tantalizingly on the horizon, forever a step ahead. It's the present that's real. It's the present that's tangible. And it's in the present that we can find true contentity. This is not to say that we shouldn't plan for the future or learn from the past. But when our mind is constantly oscillating between what was and what could be, we lose sight of what is. And it's in the what is that we can find peace, joy, and contentment. But how do we negate this will to live, this relentless drive that's hardwired into our very being? How do we break free from this endless cycle of wanting, achieving, and then wanting again? The key lies in a subtle shift in our approach to life. Instead of viewing life as a race, we can see it as a journey. Instead of viewing our problems as obstacles, we can see them as opportunities for growth. Instead of running away from discomfort, we can embrace it, learn from it, grow from it. This shift in perspective can be the key to unlocking the door to genuine happiness. Schopenhauer suggested that the path to true contentment lies in negating this constant striving. But what does that mean? Does it mean giving up on our dreams, our aspirations, our goals? Quite the contrary. It means understanding that these external achievements are not the source of our happiness. They are milestones on our journey, sure, but they are not the destination. The destination, according to the backwards law, is not something we reach. It's something we realize. It's the understanding that we're not lacking anything. It's the recognition that we're enough just as we are. It's the acceptance of our true selves, with all our imperfections, all our flaws, and all our strengths. But this realization can be elusive. We're so conditioned to believe that we need to achieve something to be happy, that we need to attain something to be content, that it's hard to break free from this mindset. It's like trying to unlearn a language we've been speaking all our lives. But here's where the power of acceptance comes in. By accepting our present circumstances, by embracing our current reality with all its flaws, we can begin to see through the illusion of external achievement. We can begin to understand that the joy and peace we're seeking are not out there somewhere, waiting to be found. They're right here, within us, waiting to be realized. Acceptance is not about giving up or settling for less. It's about understanding and embracing the present moment, with all its chaos and beauty. It's about realizing that our happiness, our contentment, is not contingent on external events or circumstances, but on our internal state of being. Letting go of our relentless pursuit of desires doesn't mean we stop caring or stop striving. It means we shift our focus from the destination to the journey. It means we stop to smell the roses along the way. It means we savor each moment, each experience, each connection, instead of constantly chasing the next big thing. Because here's the thing. The journey is the destination. The striving is the arriving. The seeking is the finding. And the paradox of the backwards law is that the more we let go, the more we gain. The more we surrender, the more we conquer. And the more we accept, the more we achieve. It's essential to understand that our constant fixation on external goals, on what we think will bring us happiness and contentment, can shape our identity and character in unexpected ways. As we feverishly chase these external pursuits, we often become so absorbed in the pursuit that we lose sight of who we really are. We become so fixated on the end goal that we overlook the journey. We become so consumed by the desire to acquire that we forget to appreciate what we already have. This relentless pursuit of external goals often deepens our dissatisfaction rather than alleviating it. In our relentless scramble to reach the top, we often lose ourselves. And in doing so, we stray further and further away from genuine contentment. German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer posited that the pleasure we derive from external pursuits is fleeting. It's like a mirage that seems so real from a distance but dissipates into nothingness when we try to grasp it. In our pursuit of these external achievements, we often fail to understand our true desires and ourselves. We get so caught up in the rat race, the competition, the comparison, that we lose sight of our real wants. We start identifying our worth with our achievements and our happiness with our possessions. This misunderstanding of our desires and ourselves only fuels our dissatisfaction and leads us into a vicious cycle of relentless pursuit. Our dissatisfaction and the belief that external change will alleviate it are at the root of the human predicament, according to the backwards law. We're always looking for the next best thing, the next high, the next achievement. But all it does is set us up for a never-ending chase. A chase that takes us away from the present moment and further away from the elusive happiness that we are seeking. In reality, our dissatisfaction is not alleviated by acquiring more. It's alleviated by wanting less. By accepting more. By embracing the present moment more. By appreciating what we have, rather than yearning for what we don't. This is the fundamental tenet of the backwards law. It's not about having more. It's about being more. More present. More grateful. More contented. True peace and happiness, according to the backwards law, come not from the relentless pursuit of desires but from letting go. It comes from accepting the present moment, with all its imperfections and challenges, and embracing it wholeheartedly. It comes from releasing the need for constant external validation and finding fulfillment within oneself. You see, the irony of the human predicament is that we're always trying to fight against negative emotions and dissatisfaction, believing that this will lead us to happiness and contentment. But the more we try to fight these emotions, the more they persist and multiply. It's like trying to extinguish a fire by pouring gasoline on it. The more we resist, the stronger it becomes. The key to happiness and contentment is not in fighting these emotions but in accepting them. By acknowledging our feelings, we take away their power. By accepting our dissatisfaction, we transform it. By embracing our imperfections, we transcend them. And in doing so, we move closer to the peace and happiness that we seek. This is the paradox of the backwards law. The more we chase happiness, the further it recedes. The more we resist dissatisfaction, the stronger it becomes. But when we let go of these relentless pursuits and embrace the present moment, with all its flaws, we find the peace and happiness that we've been seeking all along. Thank you for being here, for investing your time in understanding the paradoxical nature of happiness and contentment, and for being open to the concept of the backwards law. I hope that this talk provides you with a fresh perspective and helps you in your journey towards genuine happiness and contentment. If you found this video insightful and valuable, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from it. Remember, happiness and contentment is not a destination, but a journey. And the more we share our insights and experiences, the more we can help each other in this journey. Thank you. And until next time, remember, the key to happiness is not in having more, but in being more.